Holy crap. I just was gardening for the last 30 or so minutes and just walked out from behind my house. In my world. Are you kidding me? Look at how fucking huge that guy is. Big guy. Huge guy. I mean, if that's not a big guy, I mean, you know, you might change the definition of. Okay, I'm going to take you in for some detail right here. Very You better with the harder edge there. Try to bring that light down even a little more. It's so funny how the human eye can just adjust. I would say almost like the camera adjusts with its light. Like if I want to focus more on one part of this cloud, I can, or another, you know. And I think it is a matter of. Well, I do believe that our field of sight is almost a perfect thing in its own way. We've I think established that there are things that humans can't see that do exist. However, the fullness of color that we're able to experience compared to a camera, there's no, I mean, the eye is, my eye at least, is far more perceptive. You know, it can see gradations of color. It could see distances much further than this camera can. I mean, so it always kind of bums me out. I talk about this a lot in SKYJAMBZ. I shouldn't really just talking about it. It's like a Debbie Downer. Fucking Debbie Downer, man. Wow, I really just like, it's almost like a goalpost right there, you know. It's like kick a field goal right through there, baby. I'm more of a baseball guy, but you know. John 3:16. Remember seeing that all the time when I was younger. And I would ask my dad why they were holding that up at football games. I guess I didn't realize all those games we were watching, it was John Elway was the quarterback, so they were kind of making some joke, you know, some play. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Or that's not John 3:16, is it? I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man shall come, you know, to the Father. Is that John 3:16? It's not that one. I can't remember what it is now. Ooh, we have some of these anti-corpuscular rays, as I've coined them for lack of knowledge, and you know, my half-baked meteorological knowledge. Meteorology. Fuck, man. I'm all fucked up right now. I can't talk right. Look at that, it's almost like a wing. Isn't that pretty? It's like a freaking wing. Fly on, bruh. Now we see this, what was kind of a neatly defined, almost like absence of a rectangle now, kind of a U-shaped, you know, kind of thing, kind of filling in. Isn't this interesting? Is that a little hand reaching out there? We always personify, I think, clouds, and it doesn't have to be a person. You hear me talk about bunnies and rabbits and pigs and ducks and stuff like that, you know, like, and at this level, let's just use the word personify. Because even our understanding of a bunny or a duck is through the lens of our own understanding, beliefs, and so forth. I mean, there's people that may believe, look at the symmetry of this. This is almost like a continental, you know, when they used to talk about Pangea. Somebody told me that Pangea has been disproven. Fucking, somebody involved with the UN too laughed at me when I said something about Pangea once. You know, I didn't get the memo on that, buddy. I mean, look at how those two things would fit together, all right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like the South America and you have West Africa with that kind of, you know, where it goes under Ivory Coast and whatever the fuck, not Sierra Leone, Guyana. I don't know what the countries are, come on. Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Guyana. Niger is in there, or Nigeria. Togo, is that right? Wow, look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's get this little snow cap up here. That's always one of the things I feel like the camera can't get, right? Just the beauty of that white. It's so hard to, it's always a matter of contrast. Now I'm looking at a much grander, plane or whatever. I can see a lot more than the camera frame can. So I have more contrast to work with, maybe with the human eye, than this lens could ever have, you know? But I don't know if that's it. I mean, we on one hand, we say that photos, they capture reality just perfectly, you know, or whatever, better and better as time goes on. And I remember a painter friend telling me once, he said, when I said I couldn't get a certain color or a certain look of this light as a reflection in this thing, I said, it can't be done. I just can't do it. And he said, no, anything you can see, you can paint. And I believe that too, but I don't know about, you know, this photographic technology we're using. It's obviously all digital now. I mean, it's amazing. The real-time manipulations that I'm doing here, zooming in, zooming out. They couldn't do this on the moon, you know, the moonwalk in 1969 through 1972, right? All those times they went up there with their iPhones. You know, so something borrowed, something blue. Let's walk a little further down the road. I'd like to get more of this side of the thing now. Right now, the glory of this, these shadows essentially these are cloud shadows essentially is what we're seeing. We're seeing light, but again, the argument for the closeness of the sun, which is really, people have done some fantastic work on this on YouTube in the last few months especially. I mean, look at the ways in which it's being strewn out. If the sun was really 94 million miles away, do you think there would be this difference between there and there in terms of angle? No fucking way. That's because it's like there. The fucking sun is there. Yeah, we can all agree on that. I will not agree to the fact that it's 90 million miles away. That's just fucking absurd. Nobody even knows what the fuck that is. And it's not like $90 million, which nobody can possibly count within a lifetime, or even really, you know, anybody that would say, let's say, have $90 million, they don't have it in bills. They have it on a computer screen, and it can just as easily vanish as appear. The idea of 94 million miles was to square with Einstein's theory of relativity, I believe. You know, when the theories don't work, just change the numbers, just change the facts. Isn't that what Einstein said? When the theories don't work, just change the. No, it wasn't that blunt. It was when the theories don't work. You know, it's like change the laws or something. You know, but I like mine better. Change the facts, bruh. There are no facts. They always rely upon your mode of observation, you know, and somebody might be saying this thing is a fact, this statistic, and it turns out that what they're talking about, you know, is just something inside of their head that nobody else can even experience, right? That's easy to disprove, right? People are crazy. But you could have the whole society just as easily, macrocosm to the micro, agree on a fact. And they, like we were talking about before, what is observable in terms of seeing, our visual realm. The whole society could be wrong about that. For instance, we could say we live on planet Earth. Well, that's just a name, of course. Earth. Maybe it's called something else properly, who knows. But, like I said, that's just a language. Not only is it just a name, but it's a convention of the English language. It's not called that in, you know, French. La Terre. Or, so we're coming closer to the sunset. But anyway, here's the point, right? The whole world, the whole human race could be in the possession or in the belief that they of a certain fact, let's say, and just because, let's say, our perception is limited, let's say to like 3 dimensions, okay, or whatever, there could be like a whole other. What if there was this gigantic, you know, gigantic cricket just standing over the whole Earth that we could never see? That was just making, you know, like he was transparent. The cricket is always, you know. What if there were gigantic crickets everywhere? Like, let's say, like gigantic on the scale of like 100 feet tall, and then consequently as long or wide. What if they were everywhere where they were invisible? And our fact about the Earth was that, you know, the biggest cricket was, you know, ever measured was like a foot long or something, 2 feet long. Huge. The point is, right then and there, you can see that these facts are malleable. They change over time, even if you're Einstein. But the point that I'm trying to make, moreover, about the invisible realms and so forth, what is seen and unseen, is the cricket thing is kind of stupid, but like you know, the Earth, the fucking Earth. It's a fact that we live on a globe, right? Well, what if that's not true? What if it turns out that that's not true? And consider what it would take for that to turn out that that's not true. At the very end of the whole process, what it would take is for you to change your mind. Of all, you know, whether you saw new evidence or you went up in a rocket ship or a plane and you realized that the Earth is actually flat. You know, there's undulations in terms of terrain, but let's be honest here. We've all seen the fucking footage from 20 miles up and all that shit. We all know that NASA's full of shit. You know, where they were taking pictures out of the window of the fucking little shit that they were in on the day that they were supposed to be on the moon. So what if it turned out basically the most, one of the most widely agreed upon facts. Even in the language, you can see the folly of fact. Of course, has to be agreed upon. Like I said, the very last step to you accepting something that was fact as no longer being the fact or the case is you change your mind about it. Otherwise, somebody's going to tell you. You can have 9 out of 10 people tell you you're wrong, and you won't listen to them. Imagine if 9 out of 10 people right now told you the Earth was flat. Would you listen to them? Nine out of every 10 people you meet, I mean. At what point would you listen to them? Not as a baby, not as a noob coming into the world and, you know, everything is new and you're just learning from your... But as an adult, babies can be conditioned, and they are conditioned. You know, the thing that everybody says about having the globe be in every classroom and everything when you're little, that's true, man. It is. It's very, I mean, I always love playing with the globe. What kid has not stood with the freaking globe and spun the damn thing and, like, with their eyes closed, put their finger down and pretended, like, in their mind, you know, that they were, this is where I'm gonna go, or, you know. You just keep playing it over and over and over again. We had a globe in our house, you know, like, I'm gonna just do that in the house, you know, learn about different countries and the way things looked and the names of places even, you know. Topographical globe. And they're pretty cool things to have, but like anything, they're a representation, and we've seen now. I mean, we've also just seen just the ridiculous folly from the people that are supposed to be the safeguarders of fact. The scientists. They have no agenda. They're just giving us the facts. We've seen these pictures from NASA from 1969, or I guess it's 71 is the, I think 71 is the release of that first one. From 1971 on to now. I mean, in the last 5 years, the differences in these pictures are so funny that it's like, you'd have to be an idiot. And the thing is, it's not that most people are idiots, it's that most people are going to see one of those pictures rather than like 5 of them next to each other on Google, perhaps, or something. And they're just going to take it for what it is. The fucking globe, whatever. You know, they're down to the next thing. You have to get involved in order to really kind of start sussing out, you know what sussing out means, but you have to get involved in order to even have a chance of seeing something like that. Yeah, it's not going to come to you, is what I'm trying to say. This is not going to be on ABC News, okay? So, again, it plays into, I believe this whole tirade was started by talking about the sun and its relative distance to the Earth. Isn't that beautiful there? I took the contrast up like that and call it, oh, it's a face, it's Pinocchio. It's Pinocchio. Look at that guy. I wonder if his nose is going to grow anymore. Huh? Old boner face over there, huh? Look how small the sun really looks now that I've taken the light down. Isn't that incredible? You see what I've done here? Just by taking the light out of the picture? Oh, it's much smaller than you would think, isn't it? When you look at it compared to what it normally kind of... see how much bigger it grows when we turn the light up? It's because the light is so fucking blinding, you can't see the core of it. We'll turn the fucking light way up, huh? Let's just have a good time here, you know? There we are. End of the world. Would you believe me if I told you that there was just a nuclear fucking holocaust right over fucking Madison? Because that's what you're basically believing in when you fucking believe like some picture that you see of the fucking world. You fucking manipulate the shit. All the NASA stuff is composite imagery. you know, I complain a lot, right, about not being able to get something into frame and the grandeur of something into frame, but when you are supposedly as far away as the moon is from Earth by their calculations, you should be able to fit the whole fucking world into a frame. In fact, you should be able that we should have like hundreds and millions of pictures of it by now. We should have, like, if the satellite communication is what it says or what it's supposed to be, we should have like a 24-hour camera thing going on from up there looking back at us. It would be like, aside from the obvious scientific import, you know, that's possible, there would be like it could be at the very least a novelty. People, you know, imagine people tuning in to look at that at night instead of like watching the TV or like watching all this hate-filled shit on the internet. I mean, I do it too, you know. We all do, I imagine. Except for people that are like living completely without internet and TV. I don't. Here's my point. Actually, I totally forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, it's not going to be on ABC. That was what I was trying to say, at least 3 or so minutes ago. The revolution will not be on ABC. At least we still have SKYJAMBZ.